Is it the countdown for a count? Oh, nope. It was the real one.
Hello, and welcome to the MonsterCat Update Show. Sorry for those initial technical difficulties, but we are live now. Welcome, and I am Titan Cupcake, and I am joined by Titan Clumsy and Titan Pumpkin.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Welcome.
I feel like a fourth person's mic was active, but it's whatever.
Today. So we've got the bonus balance that's coming May 4th. We've got community news.
You guys hear somebody breathing?
Updates, the balance that's going live on May 18th with the MonsterCat update. We've
I feel like I hear
Persephone
somebody
Rework,
breathing.
Athena Remodel, Talons of Tyranny Cosmetics, Azula Pele and Avatar news.
Oh my gosh.
Along with the MonsterCat Battlepass at the end.
Yep.
And then
I feel like
after
there's
the
a fourth
show, we'll be
person's mic
throwing
accidentally
to
open.
the world premiere of Slushy's new song Valhalla. So make sure you stick around for the whole show. It's going to be a long one, but tons of stuff coming y'all's way. Are y'all excited?
Yeah, very cool. Lots of stuff.
I guess it's gonna be a long one.
Well, let's go ahead and start the show off by talking about the bonus balance that's going to be going live on May 4th. So, so many things to go over. The first set of items that we will go over will be Spear of Desolation. That's going to be getting a nerf with the bonus balance. that
Checks
goes
out.
live in a couple weeks. Will you tell us about what's going on with that, Clumsy?
Yeah, mage itemization right now has definitely been a large topic amongst the design team. And
Oh wow, that's still
while you may
really
see,
good.
spoiler alert for the main
Holy.
balance match coming up, a couple of mage buffs for items coming up.
Nothing.
Desolation is definitely one that we noticed that with the previous changes to the passive, it's been overperforming. You're seeing it a lot more than maybe we would want to see. We're going to bring that passive down in its efficacy just a little bit, just a small tweak. And like I said, there will be some mage item buffs coming up, so that should be okay.
Wait, they're buffing mage items?
Okay, sweet. And I believe that this is tied in
maybe the starters.
the Ansel nerf. Is that tied in with this a little bit?
No, it's more tied in with the upcoming Shifter Shield change that we can kind of tie together.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You'll have to hear
so
that.
We talked about
Ansile
that
and
one?
Shifter... Ansile and Shifter Shield are
Yes.
getting adjustments.
Yes.
These items are both very effective bruiser items. They
Love
have a lot
that.
of power to them. They also provide a lot of utility
love
protection. Ansile, that silence in particular, is very potent.
They got
we
right
started
into
seeing
nerfs and these.
basically shoved into many builds for assassins and warriors alike.
Oh yeah.
It's just too effective. We're going to bring down their overall power, adjust
Love
their
that.
costs and different parts of their stats. So Ansile is getting a
I'll
cost
take it.
increase and a power decrease. While Shifter Shield is just getting 2 power decreases,
Yep.
one on the base item, one on the passive
Nice.
part of it, just to make sure that those items are more in line with. They don't compete as directly with true DPS options.
Love it.
Okay, cool. And we've also got a nerf coming for the upgraded Bumba's Hammer. We'll be reducing the cooldown
Nice.
and removing all penetration for that.
Yeah, so we're pretty happy with the way the
Nice.
passive works. So we didn't really want to
Good
address that too much,
changes.
but we are seeing Bumba's Hammer being picked up, as a 6th item for mages.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a lot in a lot of different roles.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we wanted to prioritize
There's the
looking at
direct
the stats before the
Boomba's
passive. So we
mid lane
think
nerf right
this
there.
is really large changes that'll hopefully justify using the alternate upgrades, as well as making this one maybe not as ubiquitous for every character.
Probably no more Boombas on your mid laners now.
All right, sweet. And that will cover all of the items
that's a thick nerf.
that are going to be part of the bonus balance that goes
Thick
live on May
nerf.
4th. And next, we will talk about the gods. Who's ready for some Gilgamesh nerfs? Are we ready?
Yeah. We get some Gilgamesh nerfs. Let's go.
Yeah, so
We really are
Sunforged,
nerfing him. Interesting.
Scimitar is going to be
I wonder
getting,
what his win
a
rates
change
are.
along with
I'd be
Heroes
very interesting to see his
Advance.
win rates.
Will you tell us a little bit about that plan?
I'm surprised he's getting
Yeah,
nerfed.
so
Pretty-
Sunforged Scimitar,
pretty surprised.
actually, I should probably preface this a little bit. Gilgamesh is getting a bonus balance change and a normal patch change.
Interesting.
As I believe the
go.
next god on our list, Tiamat. This is the first set. This will be going live with bonus balance. We saw on his release, some people were saying he might be strong, he might be weak. Some people actually thought our PTS nerf was too much. Going
yeah.
into it. And then he started to do really well. And then over the weekend, he really just completely threw out any notion that he was
Interesting.
maybe okay or a little bit weak or a little bit strong. He's very strong. So first nerf was
I've had
set
no
for
issues
bonus
fighting
balance.
Gilgameshes.
And then over the weekend,
None.
where we've already kind of locked these changes, we've got more data. So we're going to do another change also in the main patch as well. So Sunforged Scimitar, decreasing the basic attack damage, scaling per health hit, and Hero's Advance, decreasing the scaling and increasing the cooldown. Just hits to his overall damage output, some of the more easy damage in his kit from Hero's Advance, as well as making it less likely for him to escape or engage as
It's a pretty
frequently as he
hefty
currently
nerf,
is.
you know?
Cool. And
Pretty
go
hefty nerf.
over hit is that'll be hitting the battleground
Oh.
with the 8.5
We're losing
update
our
as
internet.
well.
Oh.
But
Cupcake's
instead for the
losing
bonus
internet.
balance, we have
We're losing
Tiamat also
pixels.
getting a nerf for her passive. Will you tell us a little bit about that, Clumsy?
Now Tiamat should
So
continue
another
to be
quick
nerfed to the
preface,
floor.
like Pon said, just iterating on that, we are going to see bonus balance as well as main patch balance for Tiamat. A lot of that comes up from
Decrease
the
the
fact that bonus
healing arc
balance
passive.
was something we determined
40
before,
plus 8
like the
per
SPL
level
weekend
to
hit,
30
and
plus
obviously we saw
6.
some interesting performance by Tiamat in the SPL. 100% pick ban. May not have gotten the win on the one game, but
Interesting.
she was able to perform well there. But we're going to get to that again later. Beforehand, we noticed that one of the things that is strong
Okay,
about
that's
Tiamat,
fine,
we
nerf.
nerfed the mitigation on her
That's
passive
fine.
before, is the healing side of things. So we're going to be decreasing that a little bit. So when you're using your serpents in your lane, or you're just in team fights and enemy gods go down, you don't get as big of a healing bonus from that. And we will see her again revisit that in the balance patch coming in a sec.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So let's go back into more of the gods that are going to be part of the bonus balance shifts. We've got Tsukiyomi, who is going to be getting some nerfs, I believe. Pawn.
Yes.
What's happening with Tsukiyomi?
Suki's
We've
been
done
getting
a
love
lot of
tapped for
adjustments to his
forever.
overall clear speed and like base powers of a lot of
tap, tap,
abilities.
tap, tap, tap.
We think his clear speed and his gank potential early on is a lot more fair now. But one thing that does stand out is Piercing Moonlight. That 30% damage mitigation, as well as just
and
the raw
physical
damage
power
output it
scale.
provided,
Okay.
was very
It's a pretty
lethal.
big
We're
nerf.
just taking the edge off that. Now, if he uses it as like a last-ditch effort to survive, he's going to be more likely to die.
Suki is
And
a
when
lot
he
like
actually does get
Capri,
his dash damage hits
where he
out,
just
which can
kept
be
getting
multiplied
small
out
nerfs
by,
over and over and over and over
an
again.
extreme amount based off how many targets he hits.
And eventually they're gonna end up buffing him, over
the course of this ultimate now.
But to be fair, I mean, I literally banned
All right,
him today.
Pretty
in
straightforward.
the last game,
We've also got
so.
a nerf coming for
I don't wanna
Guan
deal with him.
Yu's
He's just
cavalry
he's not
charge,
playing.
where we'll be decreasing the base damage. Why is that, Clumsy?
So Guan Yu did get hit a little bit with the healing nerfs previously,
Interesting.
with the brawlers changes, as well as with him.
I mean, Guan Yu
Yu's healing
needs to be
himself
nerfed.
and the cooldown, but he's still performing quite well. We're seeing him in
His
high
ulti
ranks
does
as
have
well as
some
in
real
SPL.
big base
We wanted to
damage.
decrease the power of his ultimate, because
So.
if you play Guan Yu, you know that if you're getting every shot on that ultimate of cavalry charge, you're chunking, you're doing a lot of damage in team fights. So we wanted to just bring that down a little bit. Honestly, it's a bit of a slap on the wrist here.
All right, cool. We'll see how that plays out. Apollo is also getting some adjustments where
That'd be a
he's also
negative
getting
adjustment.
nerfed. A lot of nerfs coming this
There
way.
you go.
Yeah.
Better not be a
Sounds like
positive adjustment.
Audacity, the moves across the sky, all of those are being nerfed a little bit. Pon, will you give us a little bit of context on that?
Apollo had been the go-to hunter for the last few
They
patches
decreased
now,
the
where he was
movement speed
really
on his
just this,
3. Good.
dominant hunter pick.
I was
He brought
just
a lot of control
complaining
with the
about
bigger
that
map, being
today.
able to split push a lane,
I
and not
was.
only boxing when we came to fight them, but also just rotate over to the fight. He could sit in the air
Oh,
for a
they
while
also
and really
increased
threaten
the
and
mana
zone
co-
control the entire
Ooh.
fight when he got up in the
Wow.
air. So we're just doing targeted nerfs
Yo,
just
that's
to
a
take
crazy
that
ulti
edge off
nerf.
of it,
Look at
hopefully
that.
put him into a really good place, because we saw Orespio, other hunters starting to get picked up and recognized.
Interesting. So they're really gonna
Audacity,
make you.
decreasing the stacks gain from damaging an enemy god. Look at his passive.
They're
up
really
bit less
gonna make
often.
you
The
pick
moves
up
just
probably
decrease
that
the movement speed and
transcendence.
speed buff, so that
Otherwise,
it's not so
you're
much of
just
a heavy
really
swing.
gonna have
And
to
then
come
finally
down
across
quick.
the sky late game.
It's a pretty
no
big
more
ulti nerf.
30-second ultimates of you flying around,
Yeah.
laughing at the enemy team as they can't walk forward and contest anything. You're going to actually burn through your mana pool a lot more quickly in the later ranks.
All right, neat. And then Athena will also be getting a nerf to her Confound.
Good.
Clumsy, will you tell us a little bit about that?
Good.
Yeah, I think this bonus balance really wouldn't be complete if there wasn't an Athena nerf on there. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who have played with and against
Dang.
Athena after this changes,
they-
and she shot up, and the,
they brought
the
her
metrics,
taunt back
the changes
down.
were good, and probably a little bit too good. So we're gonna be
Dang.
taking that Confound, that pain
I was
point
hoping
there,
that was the one thing
reverting
they
the
weren't
duration
gonna change.
completely, as well as decreasing the damage through scaling the base for what we've given it. So overall, that change that we've given her, Athena, the new addition, we're gonna be scaling back down on that.
Because beforehand,
She needs to
you
chill.
could just put 1 point in the
Just a little
taunt.
We've
And
also
you didn't have
got
to level
some
it up
nerfs
that much. It
coming
wasn't actually
for
that
on
important.
her. So Impale and Desert Fury are
it's
both
important. There you
getting
go.
some nerfs as well. Pawn, will you
Good.
tell us about on
This is some great bonus balance,
Another
man.
go-to hunter pick was doing really well. Just the raw lethality that he has, if he impales a target or Desert Fury landing a few of those hits, especially early game, if you can combine that, just meant he could like what the word is, close out lanes very effectively, right? So we're just taking some of that power scaling off, some of that base damage. Not too big of a hit, but just something there to make sure that he's adjusted, as well as he was really the long-standing top-picked top-end ranked player or god. He was one of those characters that was basically in every game because no one wanted to ban him, but he was in every game.
Yeah.
So also just
That's
looking
fair.
to hit him there
That's
as
fair.
well.
I mean, Anher's been a top 3 pick now for like
cool. Makes
Since
sense.
the season started.
I'm excited for this next one
So.
because Set is always after me, I feel like. Set is going to be getting some nerfs as well. Who wants to talk about that?
Dead set in his ways. So,
Clumsy,
sorry.
no.
You have to talk about him now. You did that.
Sure. No problem. Well, it's really clear cut. Set is still the most banned god in ranked, and we see his variance, in his performance between casual games as well as in the SPL, where he's not being picked up as much as he used to be, but being the most bad god in ranked, that means it's a little bit of frustration there from the player base. And in order to help deal with him, we're going to make his main damage source with Skewer a little bit less effective, and also the main counterplay, which is the physical damage reduction during Sandstorm, a little bit less effective as well. So hopefully when he all-ins on your team, he'll be doing a little bit less damage, and you'll be able to be more effective against him.
Good.
I hope so.
I'll take.
Please. Set, go away, please. And then the last
I'll
god
take all these. Oh no. The last god that. The last god. The last god that. That what? The stream is under duress. What a screen. I like that they have an official screen for when they're under duress because it happens so often. Are we no longer under duress? I'm feeling duress.
Oop. Hello.
But hello, Pawn. Ooh. Hello. Hello to you, Pawn. Stream under duress, crab. Stream under duress, crab. Stream under duress, crab. Crab. Duress, crab. Duress. Crap! Duress! They can't handle it. Crap! Oh, God. This is horrible. This is too good. They were right. It is gonna be a long patch notes day. They were absolutely right. Oh gosh. How did they know, dude? How did they know, man? The classic trying to patch notes leads to absolute blag, dude. Oh goodness. Well, at least we got sound back. We got sound back. That's too funny. Oh man. This is high RP. They're bringing the day one patch malfunctions to us early, dude. This is a strictly role-playing channel. Oh, man. That's too good.
Hello and welcome back. Sorry about that, everybody. If you are tuning in and you've missed anything along the way, the update notes and the bonus notes are live, so you can follow along with us. We're going to be picking up with nerfs to Set. We just went over it a little bit, but Clumsy, will you tell us why Set is getting nerfed?
Yeah, I have no idea where we cut off, but I'm going to say it again.
From the beginning.
Dead
From the
set
top.
in his ways. That's a joke.
From there? From there?
Yep, starting right from there. I have no idea if I even got it the first time, but that's okay. So Set, he still continues to be one of the most banned god.
Kepri revived
and
the
even
stream.
though we're not seeing his SPL performance be like as dominant as he was at the end of the last season. Because of that high ban count, that usually means the perception is his frustration is pretty impactful. So we're going to be addressing his main source of damage with his skewer, as well as one of the main defense mechanisms he has with his mitigation in his sandstorm. So now when he dives into the team fight, he'll be a little bit less effective in both ways, allowing you to counterplay him a little bit more effectively.
Okay, cool. I'm excited for Set to be nerfed.
And
he's not kind to me.
the next nerf.
And then lastly, for the gods that we have being nerfed, this bonus balance update will be Sobek. And we're just going to be decreasing his cooldown on charge prey by 1 second. What do y'all expect to see with a 1 second change?
Well, this is a targeted change to one of the top-end ranked bullies. He's very prevalent in those types of games. And that extra second is 1 extra second of not needing to be worried about being plucked. In extended team fights, potentially one less pluck that actually happens. It's a very small change that will have a pretty cascading effect over the course of the game. Just affecting how often you actually have to deal with trying to avoid this or trying to stay out of range of Sobek.
All right. Sweet. And that will wrap it up for all of the bonus balance that's going live on May 4th. So let's get into some of the content that'll be released with that as well. So we've got the Talons of Tyranny event is going to be coming with some new skins. Kuzenbo is getting a skin, but his new skin is going to be called Kuzenbot. So let's take a look at Kuzenbot Kuzenbo. And I'm super excited for y'all to see this one because I am a really big fan of these it's kind of mechy, but also very cutesy. I like that combination. Look at him.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. I mean, it can't just be the card art, right? That little Nene bot inside of him?
Yes, he's got a little Nene
that's on the
bot.
skin.
He's a Mama Kuzenbo.
Oh, that is super cool.
Super neat.
I love it when we do
Mama
stuff
Kuzen.
like that.
The smiley's
Death
got on the neck.
Stranding
Oh, wow.
Kuzenbo,
That is
yeah.
amazing. Oh, it's even more,
Oh,
it's
look
even
at
more
him.
terrifying.
Okay, not
Yes,
so cute.
and his
He's
little
just
Nene
staring
just
at
sitting
you.
in his
Okay,
belly
not
waiting.
so cute, I would say.
Reflecting
so
off the
cool.
clouds.
Waiting to be
I
deployed.
don't know if cute is the word that I would use.
Let's give the voice pack a listen.
Systems operational. Subsystem set to extreme prejudice.
Sweet. I love it.
Good stuff.
He's scary, but also kind of cute because of his belly.
Dude, his teeth are terrifying.
Right, a lot of scary things, but
I
then
don't know if
also
I
cute.
would use cute.
And then we've also got
Whoa.
Stitched Creation Agni hitting
Now
the
that
Talons of
is
Tyranny
cool.
event as well. And this one I feel like has got some serious scary clown vibes, but
Yeah,
as a doll.
It's like the opposite of the Ganesha yarn, right? Or
What did he
I'm not
do
sure
to
what that
Ganesh
line
in the
is
bottom
called.
right?
Oh, is he even there?
No,
He's
right.
there.
No.
That's-
What did he
that's so
do?
cool.
You did.
He's been unstitched.
Oh my gosh. I love it when we have the card arts that reference each
Yeah,
other.
I was mentioning that. I didn't even realize he was there until Pon said it. This is super.
That's great.
Oh, it's so spooky. Very creepy.
Oh man.
And he's got the
I love
knitting
that.
stuff.
That's a cool
yeah,
skin.
like I was back. Oh yeah, that's creepy. Don't like. If that's
Spooky.
running at me, I'm running.
Let's give the voice pack a listen.
So, we have found some foes to vanquish? Yes, let's kick the stuffing out of them!
I hate that.
Imagine if
Not
we made
gonna lie.
plushies of that and it's just
It
sitting
could
in
have
your
been
room
kind of
staring at
cute.
you.
That
No,
voice pack,
I like it in game. I
horrifying.
don't like it in real life.
Horrifying.
Not for your house. We've also got the Outer Planets chest coming to the battleground
Very
with
scary.
the bonus, and it will have the first
Oh,
Tiamat
yes.
skin. And look at her.
That's a cool Tiamat
Look
skin.
at her.
I heard we're doing something like this, but I haven't seen anything about it yet. So this is fantastic. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
It's going
those
to come with the
really,
two different
really
stances, of course. So that's going to be exciting to see in game.
Yes, and I'm just excited for Tiamat to be getting
Tiamat's
her
got a
first
great
official
model.
skin. That's not one of our recolors.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh, look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it!
yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that
I mean,
looks
she's
dope.
gonna be 100% banned.
So
you're
as a
still never
reminder,
gonna
this
get
will
to
be
see the
coming
skin,
out with
but the idea of the
bonus
skin
update.
is
So it'll
cool.
be coming out before 8.5.
Nice. Like
Let's give the
Pitchfork
voice back a
Trident
listen.
Tail.
So pretty.
These creatures, irregular. This civilization, pathetic. This world, mine for the taking.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, you can have it.
Yes. All day. This is great. I'm excited to see
Yeah.
that new Tiamat coming after me. I
I'm
love
into
it.
that.
Well, that is going to wrap it up for everything under the bonus balance update. If you missed anything, we've got the notes live right now on the site, so you can check it out. And we've also got all of the wallpapers there for if you want to make the Tiamat skin or anything, your wallpaper. Those are available for download as well. But let's jump into some community news that we have. The first thing that I want to talk to y'all about is, in case anybody missed it, SPL has started. And
Yes, finally.
So, yes, it was a fun
I got
weekend.
5 out of 6
But
of the
it
first
seems like
week's
the
games
Jade
right on my
Dragons have
votes.
brought the Jazzberry Jam. Am I saying that
The
right?
Jazzberry Jam.
It is actually the best color.
I hope PBM heard that because he's been all about that Jazzberry Jam.
All about that.
And we also, along with SPL starting, we have new SPL merch available. And the proceeds for that will go directly into the players' pockets. So if you're looking for some new threads, pick up something from the SPL merch store. You could dress up in some Jazzberry Jam.
I do like
support
that
your
they made
favorite
the
teams.
one of all of these.
I know, they're all
I do
so
like that
pretty,
they made the
but
merch.
the Jade Dragons one for me, I think
support
is
all the teams.
my
It's really
favorite.
cool.
I just love that color combination.
is
And the hoodie
nifty,
for the
for
Jade Dragons is pink, and I like that. We also have the fan art submission contest is open again for people to submit their fan art in hopes of it becoming a free cosmetic that's given away in our fall event. And then last but not least, if you haven't gotten it already, we have new Prime Gaming content available to claim for free. This time it is Archangel Chernobog. So if you haven't picked that up, make sure you
Sweet.
claim
Oh, that's
that
cool
as
skin.
well as a free little reward in game.
Wait, you can get free skins for
I like
Smite
that. I like that the
and
old Chernobog
subscribe
skin
to the
is orange, the
Twitchiest
default
community
skin.
for
Yes,
free
I
with
haven't
Prime
seen that
Gaming.
before.
That deal
was
seems
neat.
too good to be true.
But that will wrap up everything
That seems
we've
too
got
good
for
to be
community
true. You just got to come
news.
by every
So
month
a
and
couple
smash
of
that
quality
button.
of life
What?
updates that will be coming y'all's way. I see that searching for starter items has been added and or fixed.
Oh,
Yep. Just
Let's
different
go.
ways of using the store, making sure that everything is available to be searched properly.
Awesome. For me, that was always hard because I'm not a good speller, and I'd be like, "What should I buy?" And it's hard. And then also we're going to be having ranked resets coming. This will only be for Diamond 1 and above players, and it will occur in 8.5 and 8.7. So
Yep.
ranked resets are coming.
Good.
Yeah, and the
Good,
big thing
good.
there is we did a lot of adjustments to
I'm
ranked
glad.
at 8-1. People are progressing at completely different rates now, and making sure that the top end players have a reason to continue to grind against each other.
I'm glad
to
that
continue to
they're.
fight
I'm
for
glad
who's
that
the
they're
top.
resetting it.
The Diamond 1
'Cause they
players will
didn't
get
do
reset
it.
down to Diamond 1, both in MMR and in
Okay.
Division.
Cool.
Okay, cool. And then could
like
you
that
also
a
give
lot.
us a little bit of context on the early surrender changes that are coming?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so early surrender is a feature there to make sure that players in
People
a
are
situation where they
abusing it
detect
right
the
now.
match doesn't feel quite right, someone disconnected, and they just want to get out of it and get into a new game, they can do so much more quickly than waiting for the full surrender time. But there are some abuse cases people can do with that, and one thing we want to make sure was that a team never felt disincentivized from actually utilizing the feature. One thing people could do was kind of grief the other team by causing them to lose MMR for their time. So now if one team early surrenders, the other team will get something in compensation for that time. So you can't use it to just block someone from getting MMR.
Good.
Nice. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a
Good.
great fix.
Mhm.
And then we've
Fantastic.
also got tons of other bug fixes. So if you're looking
good.
for something specific, go ahead and check out the update notes to see what bug fixes are going to be hitting the battleground with each update. But let's go ahead and get right into the MonsterCat update balance. So that will be
Actual
8.5
balance,
balance.
yes.
Yes.
This
the
has
real
been a
or
great
not real
patch note
balance.
so
It's
far.
all
Knock
real,
on
but
wood.
the big
It'll
batch
be going
balance.
live with yes.
So far,
It'll be going
so
live with
good,
the update
folks.
on May 18th, and we're going to start off by talking about Wind Demon. So Wind Demon is going to be getting a nerf. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
I'll take that. Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
So one of the benefits of SPL
Yep.
is that it
love to see
allows
it.
the players to see, some of these items that are being picked up a lot more often than you might expect in your casual games, especially at higher elos.
It gets
And
picked
Wind
up a
Demon is
ton.
definitely one of those. Crit is kind of
A ton.
resurfaced back as something that has been a very strong item build for hunters, and we think Wind
Great
Demon
nerf.
is one of those crux and core items
Great
for
nerf.
those builds. It's not always there, but when it's there, it's definitely more effective than potentially any of the other crit items. So we're going to be decreasing its potency and its passive a little bit, mostly on the movement speed side of things, because an extra 20% movement speed for hunters, especially coming to late game with crit, can be quite frustrating to play against, and also a little bit on the attack speed too.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Excited to see how that'll play out. We've also got some changes coming to the upgraded Magic Shell relic. Will you give us a little bit about that as well?
Ooh.
Yeah, so upgraded shell. If you've ever seen 4 upgraded shells in the enemy team and wondered why, it was because they could stagger them to get 8 block stacks, which is really good at stopping hunters and assassins. So we're changing the functionality of it. So now rather than blocking outright a basic attack, the shield is essentially 50% more effective against it. So when you have the upgraded shell shield on you, basic attacks incoming will just be cut in half rather than blocked outright, which means potentially you could mitigate a few more, but it also means other gods aren't completely shut out of using like their core basic attack components of their kit.
Fantastic.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge impact, and we know the pros have been asking for something like this for a while. Certain assassins and characters, like Pon was alluding to, for example, with Pele and her ultimate, you're no longer stopping the complete ultimate from going off with a block stack of shell. It's still going to go through, but the basic attack itself will be doing less damage.
Many
That's a pretty big change.
In the jungle.
Yeah.
Or unplayable.
Sounds good. Excited to
because
see
of, you know, 6 block
stacks. And then
stacks.
this one is for Clumsy. Are you ready to talk about the alternate timeline buff?
Yeah, magical power was real low, now it's real up.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
We were real scared of that passive, but it's actually pretty counterable. Who knew?
Yes, 6 minutes is a pretty good timeline. We're still very happy
want to see
monitoring how effective that is,
how much
especially
power
in longer games.
Let me see the power.
With the 6 minutes, as the stats showed, it wasn't just...
It only had 45 magical power.
Even with the defenses it
now
gives you
it has
isn't
70
a lot
magical power?
for a tier 3, late game replacement item. So we're going to bring that up a little bit more.
Have we considered that the alternate timeline is just garbage?
And then Archmage's gem is also going to be getting
some
mana added to it. Pon, why is that?
Yeah, so we were looking at a few things. One was we saw, we just want to make sure that all the upgrades have different build opportunities for different mage builds. One thing we noticed was lacking with mage build was mana on the upgraded starter. If you're going something like a Book of Thoth build, that might be useful for you. But just also the gem itself was a bit underperforming. We saw people shift away entirely from the conduit tree to the Sands of Time tree, or when they did go to the conduit tree, focus actually became a more popular option. So we just want to make sure Archmage's gem has a little bit extra to keep it in relevancy with all the other choices.
Could be relevant for like Cuckoo,
awesome. And then Gem of Focus is also going to be getting a buff.
Very similar along the lines that Pon just said. We're just making sure, with the starter items, we're going to be constantly assessing their balance and the upgrades as well. And we want to make sure that you have a good opportunity to use each one of them. Gem of Focus getting a 10 magical power buff, just in the same lines as the previous statements.
What else?
Pretty straightforward. And then Bumba's Spear is getting a shift/buff for the upgraded Bumba's Spear.
Okay, because nobody's ever bought it in the history of
you
the
might
item.
have been worried about the Bumba's Hammer change. You're going to get a Spear buff, a Hidden Blade buff, and a Seer of the Jungle buff.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna let you take all
stay
of
tuned.
these.
You're going to get some stuff.
Okay.
So big thing here for Bumba's Spears, it just felt underwhelming. It didn't feel rewarding enough for the late
CDR.
game. We're giving it some CDR. We're giving it some. We're removing the mana, but then we're giving power
10%?
instead of gold gain when you kill a jungle monster.
Buff.
So now that 10% extra CDR will help you cast more abilities in the late game, as well as the extra 10% power can give you windows to create power play moments, especially while fighting in the jungle. You can quickly go heal up off a camp and rejoin a fight with 10% extra power. Going to be kind of swinging in that way, and that's something that good players are going to be able to try and manage.
Okay.
That sounds neat. So we've also got Mannequin's Hidden Blade getting buffed, the upgraded Mannequin's Hidden Blade. Why is that? Why are we
So the big thing, Mannequin's Hidden Blade is one that was underperforming. A lot of people just didn't feel like the burst potential on it was really high.
And that's
and also
pretty big
because it was just basic attack power, it was really
Wow.
hard to find moments where you could synergize it into really any build. Because this is
60
kind of
power,
the not inline upgrade, it can be a bit weirder with its stats. It's just going to actually convert that basic attack power to
20%.
true power that'll affect your ability scaling and everything like that. And we're bumping up the actual proc, because that proc is a bit difficult to manage and get reliably, and so
that
we
is
want to make sure it feels
significant.
rewarding when you do so.
Okay.
That's a thick buff.
And then Seer of the Jungle, the upgrade for Seer of the Jungle, is also getting a buff.
Yep, Seer of the Jungle has a potentially very powerful effect of being able to become a ward clear. It was one of those things that we figured high-level players would really leverage a lot, but just the stats on it and the duration of it made it too prohibitive. We're going to give it some attack speed to make sure that that build path is supported. Maybe some more attack speed junglers could actually go this route and really benefit from the attack speed there, but also give you 5 extra seconds to utilize that ward vision to make sure you can clear out everything. Especially around a fire giant, you don't have to rush as quickly.
No,
you have
thank
time
you.
to get maybe 2 wards out rather than just 1, greatly increasing its overall effectiveness.
Don't need it.
Alrighty. Thank you, Pon. We've also got the starter for Warrior's Axe getting a buff as well, where we'll be increasing the health and decreasing the cooldown.
So in the last update, we buffed Bluestone Pendant, and we've had our conversations back and forth about that, but it also led to the opportunity to talk about the other starter items for solo laners. And you even see in the SPL and some other games where they may not even pick up a starter item to begin with. And we want to make sure that each of these have their opportunities. So we're going to be seeing small buffs to Warrior's Axe as well as Warding Sigil. And for Warrior's Axe, it's really just allowing for that aggressive trade to happen a little bit more often and with a little bit more
better. That 2-second difference is probably better than the
And that'll lead us into a Warding Sigil, as
5
you just
HP.
mentioned.
Yeah, it's similar there. Warding Sigil, we're increasing its physical protection from 10 to 15 to just help it be in line with those other more aggressive options.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Warrior's Axe is more
Benevolence is
important.
also getting kind of a fix where the effect will now only give one nearby ally the bonus gold and XP.
Yeah, so this is mostly a fix. If you were playing Joust, you probably saw triple benevolence. It was splitting evenly the reward with everyone, and because of the rounding fix we added earlier, you were generating quite a bit of extra gold and experience that wasn't really intended. So now we're just fixing it so that you share it with only one ally, which means it's less likely to get rounded, which means you're less likely to generate gold out of thin air. So that stacking tactic doesn't work nearly as well anymore.
That's hilarious.
Cool. And then upgraded Compassion is also getting a buff. Clumsy, can you give us some details about that?
Yeah, it's mostly just losing the gold generation from the starter of Benevolence at level 17 just felt, unfortunate for something that's going to be an upgrade. So now we're giving it a little bit of gold generation once you've upgraded to its, upgraded starter item.
All right, neat. Sentinel's boon is also getting a buff, the upgraded Sentinel's
You're gonna buff
boon,
my boon?
where we'll be increasing the health and mana restored from the passive.
I secretly
1%.
love
Why
boon.
is
Maybe
that?
it's not
Yeah.
a secret.
So we finally
I
got
love
the
boon.
support items kind of in a place where we're seeing a lot of experimentation with multiple
I like it a
different
lot.
choices. But when you do go Sentinels, we're still seeing a lot of Sentinels Embrace versus Boon. We're just going to increase the restorative effect that it provides. This is now a 24% health and mana restoration when you're Phoenix sieging or defending. Pretty good. We'll see if it can compete with Sentinel's Embrace, but a step in the right direction.
That's
Cool.
a thick
something to
heal,
keep an eye
man.
on.
That is
See how
a
that plays out.
thick heal.
We've also got Charon's Coin getting a buff
So-
where it's going to cost less and hurt more.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Cost
pretty much
less
it
and
for this
hurt
one.
more. I
But
like
for a
that.
little bit of context, it's just, we alluded to earlier that Desolation was very powerful, but there's also a lot of mage itemization choices we wanted to make sure that players could opt into and not feel punished for. Charon's Coin is one of those where it definitely fell out of favor compared to Obsidian Shard or when we first introduced it.
It's just hard to build.
Bringing its cost down a little bit and its power up a little bit, we think will just bring it more in line with those other penetration
It'll still be
options,
hard to
and
build.
something that you don't feel bad about building into your late game item builds.
You just have to get it earlier than you would like to in order to get it stacked,
Thank
you
you.
know?
And then we're going to see Book of Toth also
That's
is
the
going to be
biggest
getting
issue.
a buff as well. So the power will be increased. And can you give us some details about that, Pawn?
Yeah, so Book of Thoth is probably the main mage starter that style that doesn't involve a starter. You can rush it and try and really stack it early. You can build it like very quickly out of the gate. And so we want to make sure this item feels good when you build it in that scenario, just because it is a popular and one that people like to go when they're really trying to go that mana build. So we're just making sure that it contributes enough power to support that playstyle, especially as we keep bringing some of the power level up on some of these other mage starters.
Cuckoo.
Awesome. Sounds
Well,
good.
Santa time.
We've
Book
got
of Thoth.
Spear of the Magus getting a buff. Or is it Magus or Magus?
Oh, we can take a poll
Spear
now,
the
but I
Magus.
go Magus.
Whoa!
Okay. So Spear of the Magus then is
Whoa.
we're adding to
Oh.
We're
the
saying it's
lifesteal.
Magus.
From out of
Chat
left
can talk
field.
about it as well, but for us we will call it
Meow.
Magus.
Didn't see that one
but we'll
coming.
be getting 12% lifesteal added.
This is a spicy one, and really what
That
it comes
is
down to
spicy.
is that when it comes to these power and penetration options, that's kind of all you're getting with some of these, right? You've got Divine Ruin, which has its very niche but specific application. You've got
spicy.
Obsidian Shard with a percent, and Desolation, like we talked about, but they all are really just giving you power pen. Magus didn't really fit into that because its passive was still there and it basically just said more power. But we're adding a new set onto it, which is going to be really interesting and something that we're going to follow along for sure at past its release. And that's Lifesteal. Now, if you want to continue on from your Lifesteal builds, whether you're playing Anubis and you have your Typhon's Fang and Bancroft, or you just want to flex into a little bit more and you don't really want to pick up like a Soul Gem, you can now get a little bit of power pen and Lifesteal and a little
It's
bit more flexibility
interesting.
with your item choices.
It definitely
Neat.
opens up Magus
12%
into a
lifesteal
plethora of
will-
builds.
Sounds like a lot, but I guess we'll watch it and see how it goes.
For mage
and
items, that's
then-
about normal, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's around
Okay.
how much
We'll
Soul Gem
see.
has.
Okay, sweet. We've also got a buff coming for Mail of Renewal. What's going on with that, Pawn?
We're buffing renewal.
So Mail Renewal, new item, got completely reworked passive.
Wait, what?
And one thing that we noticed was people really wanted to embrace the style of like healing your team up, but it just took too long. And so we're decreasing the health from this item a little bit just to compensate
Minus
for the
health.
buff that we're about to give it, which is we're
But
cutting the
it
time the
heals
heal
your
takes to
team
complete in half.
faster.
You'll get the same amount of healing in half the time, which means that you'll
Okay.
feel this much more over the course of a team fight when you're trying to actually restore your team. So just a nice buff to this to make you feel the effect more.
Okay.
Oh, that's exciting. Twice as
Mhm.
fast.
Yep.
And then
Kind of evens
Stone of
out,
Fall is
honestly.
going to be the last item that we have changes happening to. And it's just going to get a little bit cheaper.
All right.
Yeah, so we introduced the
Oh.
passive changes and basically reworked the items from
23.50.
Mail of Renewal and Stone of Fall. And Stone of Fall, we're still very happy with its identity, especially
Pretty
focusing
cheap.
Guardians to get into the fight and the fray with their
Stone
basic
of Fall's
attacks.
a good
We still
item.
think that's something really interesting, but the high cost, especially for Guardians, we thought might have been prohibitive. So reducing the cost will allow more players to really pick it up and give it a try, give it a use, and see if you enjoy using it, and then we can reassess from there.
Awesome.
I like it.
Well, that is going to cover all of the items that are getting shifted around for our Monstercat update that goes live on May 18th. Yes, I remembered it correctly.
Nice.
So let's get into the gods. We talked about Gilgamesh and
Not
Tiamat
bad so
during
far.
the bonus part of the show, but we're going to be talking about them again. So Gilgamesh getting a nerf. Tell us about it. What's going on?
He really getting
Round
double
2.
nerf.
Yeah, he rose on the stats for the weekend, so he's getting a
Wow.
second nerf, one in bonus, one here. And just the raw damage output he had, his ability to fight was
He's
just too
getting
high.
double nerf.
Sunforge Scimitar getting a base damage decrease, mainly as you rank it up, so his level 1 is roughly equivalent. And Dropkick also getting that kind of same late game focus adjustment where we're taking some of the stun duration off from ranking this. This does mean his level 1 is technically a little bit stronger with Dropkick, but we think the nerfs in the bonus balance combined with the nerfs to Sunforge Scimitar and that clear more
He's
than
getting
compensate
some
for that
pretty
small little
significant
adjustment,
nerfs.
especially because you are often ranking
He's kind of
Dropkick
getting hit
anyway.
all around.
Alrighty. I'm excited to see how
Not
those
to
play
mention
out.
his build got nerfed as
And
well. You
Tiamat
know?
again is also going to be getting a nerf as well in bonus and in the update on 8.5.
Yep, that's right. I think a lot of players are still trying to figure out whether Tiamat is obscenely busted or, just good or maybe just bad, honestly. But one thing that we noticed, especially in the SPL, if you guys are
Okay.
watching in the game that she was played, is the basilisks again. And we talked about this last
Only
update show
4
with her
minions.
changes, is
That's
that we were
that's
very
an
well aware
important
that the
nerf.
basilisks may have a chance to be too strong, but it's much easier to tone them down one by one than it is to just outright gut it and then buff it back up to potency. So this next change is honestly pretty severe. We're reducing the lifetime of the Summon Serpents deployable from 21 seconds to 11 seconds. What this really means is that you're going to get 2 waves of serpents instead of 3 waves. So now coming to the late game when CDR
That's
comes to
actually
effect, you may
that's a
not
big
have
nerf.
6 serpents every
Yep.
single time she used that ability coming in, and then another 6 on top of that if she wants to use that before going towards Fire Giant or wherever she may be going. Now you're going to get a decreased number of serpents each time. That's going to be a
Good.
lot less pressure.
Good. She
Yeah.
deserves it.
She does, and we're going to continue reassessing because if we continue to see this be a problem, we will nerf it again. It's no problem.
I'm trusting you, Clumsy.
I'll buff it. It's okay.
Stop.
50 seconds.
Got above it.
Invincible.
So we've covered Gilgamesh, we've covered Tiamat, so let's get into the rest of the gods. Now they will be alphabetical. And again, the notes are live if y'all want to follow along. So Bakasur is going to be getting a buff to his
Good.
Eat Minion and Butcher Blades. Will
Okay.
you give us a little bit of insight on that, Pom Pom?
Bakasura just really fell off. We expected a lot more from him in Season 8 with the bigger map. We even preemptively kind of adjusted his passive. He was
Well,
one of
the
the very
block
few characters
stacks
who really
kind of
did that on.
screwed him.
And it just didn't really
So-
bear out that he ended up being that strong in this map. So we're going to give him a buff. Eat Minion, we're going to actually kind of change its function a little bit. It always felt like a little bit of you had to kind of like choose how much mana you want to spend to clear. Eat Minion will now actually be mana positive. So you actually want to just eat as much as you can.
Cool.
There's never a feel bad reason to eat a minion. Just go to town on that. And then finally, Butcher Blades, decrease cooldown from 14
Okay.
seconds to 12 seconds, just increasing his clear speed overall, making sure that he can box effectively. Kind of rather than bringing power back to the passive, because you also know that one is very strong when it gets too strong, making sure that his individual abilities
All
feel
right, good
to use.
changes. These are good changes.
Sounds good. And now Baylona is getting a buff as well to Bludgeon and Eagle's Rally. Will you give us some context, Clumsy?
Yeah, Solo Lane is all
Balloon.
about, you know, what you can do early game to exert a pressure lead and what you can fulfill for your team late game. And even when Mannequin Scepter was extremely strong for warriors and solo laners, Bellona, who was someone utilized that really well, wasn't actually picked up that much. And even if she wasn't performing all that strongly. We did a lot of changes for her ultimate previously, and we're going to continue monitoring her, especially after these changes, to make sure that you know she's still a viable pick. Increasing the bludgeon damage is going to help with the clear and your early game pressure and Eagle's Rally. 1 second is actually pretty short for an ultimate stun duration, so we're going to buff it just a little bit, 0.25 seconds, which might even help her confirm a little bit more damage and her team too.
Alrighty. And then a pretty, I think, substantial change is coming for Chiron, where he will no longer... I'm sorry, you take it, Pumpon. You tell us all about it.
Yeah, so Giddy Up, you are now immune to knockups while you're galloping. So one big thing
makes sense.
Yeah, he's a horse. Horses are heavy. It's going to be really hard to stop them when they're galloping. This also just has the strong application of it's a lot. You have to be a lot more specific with how you choose to stop Chiron who's trying to get away from you. A lot fewer characters now can really truly stop him, which opens up just a whole bunch of opportunities for him to be picked into different compositions.
That's good.
So you're saying he's unstoppable, and that's the plan?
Yep.
Sounds
next
great.
He'll just trample and squish people, execute.
Perfect.
That's the next buff if we need it.
I like it.
I've been trying to tell y'all to give Neath an execute, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Daji's next up. She'll be getting a buff to 1,000 cuts and Trickster Spirit.
Auto lock execute on her ulti.
Yeah, so Daji, she had her time to shine for sure. She was
Daji,
very strong,
character
and then she kind of fell out of
really
favor.
got
She
screwed
never
over
really
by
picked up much
Shell
steam after that. Sometimes, similar to Ao Kuang, she'd be picked up a little bit, but then very soon afterwards, she fell out of favor again. And one part about that is while her mid to late game scaling is pretty strong, her early game getting off the ground is not that great. So here we're going to be addressing two of her damage abilities, specifically for their base damage, because we think bringing that up for her early to mid game will allow her to transition to her late game, where her ultimate and her scaling will shine.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, Clumsy. And then someone I haven't seen in a little while, to be honest, Fafnir. He's going to be getting a buff. What's going on with
Fafnir is secretly good right now.
Yeah, Fafnir, when you're playing him, even though you do have the ultimate that lets you transition to the dragon form and get your cooldowns back, his cooldowns, when you don't do that, feel very long, and it's hard to contribute to your team outside the initial engage. Where other supports often get a second round of CC, you're just kind of stuck looking, trying to wait and hope your team doesn't die. We're just going to decrease his cooldowns overall. So Curse Strength and Underhanded Tactics, getting pretty substantial cooldown reductions, just opens up his play opportunity and actually lets him play more of that support role and help his team.
Those are good changes.
That's neat. I hope I'll see him a little bit more then.
So.
And then one of the gods who has a skin like the Kuzambot one where they have the animal inside the suit, Hera, is getting a buff.
Nice. I was like, I've got to remember which skin that was.
I have to remember which
where are we going with this? She's got two of them, actually. But anyway, Hera's going to be getting a buff to Polymorph and Divine Shroud. What's going on with Hera?
So Hera, she was pretty. First, she was doing pretty good as mage. A lot of people picked her if you liked her and didn't if you didn't, but that's fine. And then we saw a lot more use, which is fine. Yeah, that's okay. We saw a lot more use out of her when people started realizing how powerful that shield was. And because of that, we actually brought some pretty decent nerfs to the shield, and she just plummeted. People were just like, nah, she's not survivable anymore. I'm not going to pick her. So basically, since then, we wanted to address what we can do for her. We noticed that her damage output is a little bit on the lower side, just tad, so we're going to be increasing that with the scaling on polymorph, and we didn't want to do a full revert to the shield because that would just bring her back to the point where she was previously, where she might have been too strong. So we're kind of doing a shift here where we know it might be a little bit of a one-point wonder, so we're going to give her the early rank upgrade for Divine Shroud, and we're going to go from 15 to 17 per level rather than to the previous of 20, so that towards the late game it kind of comes back to the numbers we see a little bit more now, or in between.
It's a pretty small little.
And then buff. My man Kukulkan is getting a buff.
Wow, they really have given Kukulkan a lot of love.
And he'll be getting some decreased cooldowns on Slipstream. I believe it'll be leveling. Will you give us some insight on that, Pawn?
So up to
Yeah, I think in
13.
Season 7 we did the
Between
Whirlwind
the
change, where his
starter
like, the
item
time it took to
changes
take
and
on
the
targets change.
Book
We
of
did a
Thought
few other buffs
changes
there, and he kind of
the
rose
nerf to
into
some
like
of the other
a
stuff.
core mage.
They're really
Enough so
giving
that
the
we actually
old,
had to
the
nerf
old
him, take some
cuckoo
power off his passive, and then we saw him
some
stabilize
love,
out and then
man.
slowly kind of wean off as someone that people aren't really picking. We just want to give him some extra utility. Slipstream getting the cooldown reduction means he can rotate faster, he can juke things, he can set up for his ultimate better. Just kind of rounds out his kit. Just the kind of buff that he needs to like just kind of push him back into a potential core mage.
Awesome. I'm excited to see that because I'm always playing Kulkin in mid. So I will take the buff.
Yeah,
And
I think
then we have a buff-
one of our resident devs, Lermy Wormy, just absolutely adores Kukulkan. Just weird to me.
Yes. I feel like he's got a little bit of everything. And his clear is great. He's a snake. It's great. We've also got a buff coming in for Medusa. What's going on with Medusa, Clumsy?
All right.
So yeah, we've given Medusa a lot of power through increasing the number of
We're
shots of her
buffing
Viper shot, I
Medusa.
believe. And while she was picked up quite a lot
She's
at the
my
time, and
favorite
it
ADC
looked
right
like
now,
she was going
I'd
to
say.
survive those buffs and maybe even need nerfs, that just didn't end up being true. She
I
just
wreck
fell
with
back
her
down
every
out of
time I
favor
play.
again. We want to do a little bit of changes at a time because we think she can be pretty effective. Lacerate, the healing debuff duration increasing. I think this is just kind of normalizing the duration for healing debuffs across the board. I believe like Sobek's Sicknick Strike also is 4 seconds, so this is kind of bringing it in line. And then the cooldown reduction, 15 seconds for, I wouldn't say she's the most mobile kind of hunter, is pretty long. So scaling that to 13 seconds is a little help her out in the late game.
I mean,
Cool. And last but
It's a
not
bit of a
least,
scary
for the
change.
gods getting a change
Any buff
during
to
the
her.
MonsterCat update, live May 18th, is Mulan. So she will be getting a buff, getting stronger with time. What's going on with Mulan, Pompon?
This is really focused around her late game kind of warrior utility that warriors want to bring. They want to be the front line for their team. And the duration on cross strike, the
That
attack
doesn't
speed buff,
matter.
and the protection buff from grapple just didn't really enable enough time for that. So
That's
we're
not a
increasing the
big
buff
deal.
duration when she actually gets those online. But we're also increasing the stun duration on grapple so that she actually can follow up more
that matters.
aggressively, and her team can follow up more aggressively off a successful grapple.
A longer
That
stun
kind of stuff
duration
is
does
the
matter.
thing that you want a warrior for. And so having extra time to confirm abilities off a pick is just going to be super valuable for her.
0.2 seconds.
I think her teammates will be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But
It might not
that is
actually
going to
matter that
cover
much.
everything balance-wise for the
Nice.
MonsterCat
It might not
update.
actually matter.
We did
but
it.
we do have
We did it.
one big thing happening to Persephone. And it's an entire
Yeah.
rework. So
Persephone is getting a
let's
rework.
go ahead.
Yep.
It is time. It is time.
I haven't heard
to give
anything
up.
about this yet. It just
Yeah,
happened.
no, there's been zero feedback,
Yeah.
I think.
I think it has got some people a little split, but I think that once they see what's going on in game and get to see kind of our
I
thought
like the
process
rework.
behind it, I think we'll be able to win some
Rework
people
is a
over.
strong
So
term.
let's go ahead and get
The
into
term
a
rework
little
is a
bit
strong
about
term.
why you guys
On
think that
paper, it
Persephone
sounded
needs this rework
fantastic.
to begin with.
So,
Yeah, so I would encourage everyone to go read the dev update blog post. It goes into detail about her win rate stats, which are really low across the entire board, her pick rate stats, which are really low across the entire board, the community perception on her, which is really rough. She was one of those characters that when you had to fight against her, you just kind of had some dread. I remember in one of our playtests, one of our playtesters even said, like, man, it was actually kind of relieving walking in here and like fighting a Persephone and not just having that immediate dread. And so that's really like that's the perfect criteria for the rework candidates. We have this character who really could only excel at the very, 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 very top level of play. Only like literal SPL players were really heavily using this character. A lot of people were struggling. There was things that the kit felt clunky or off-putting and pushed people away. And so we're doing adjustments to really address a lot of those top-end concerns. So, for example, passive revival, that effect was just really strong, and there's not really a great way to tune that. So that's one of the things that we look to address, as well as what can Persephone do to actually confirm damage? Because against good players, you had to rely on the stage 2 plant rather than the stage 3 plant,
Now you
because
did.
no one's going to get hit by the stage 3 plant as long as they have any amount of reaction time, because they know how to juke it. So those are the types of things we're addressing, giving Persephone more direct control over her kit, as well as giving enemies more clear counterplay opportunities, more clear understanding of where her damage is coming from. And so I think we can get into it and kind of show off the different abilities.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's
let's do
head
it.
in.
One of the biggest changes they did is you can actually
I'm
fire
excited
the one now
to
like
see
a
everything,
regular
'cause I read the
ability.
blog, but I want to see it.
As long as you're
in
moving the
action.
ability, that's where it'll shoot out.
She's
Yeah.
so beautiful too.
I
And she looks the
hated the
same,
way
which
that
I think
Persephone
everyone
one
appreciates
fired. I hated
the,
it.
the artwork. They really resonate with the design
It's
of her.
no longer that weird
the,
delay.
The skeletal minions and the plants especially, those are super iconic. So those are things that like we also really wanted to preserve. We didn't want to really address any of that and touch any of that because it's all so good.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of my favorite like visual gods and goddesses that we have. I just feel like she's just really pretty.
And she summons crazy, creepy skeletons.
So let's start going through the main kit. So her one previously had a you'd fire it and you had to really lead your targets because it was it had a very long cast time and didn't update your aim. As well as for pro players, the range in it was so long that you couldn't help but just be poked by this and zoned by this and have to give up so much pressure. So now it's going to be a more kind of standard mage ability where you fire this out, it's passive minions, damage, and stops on targets. So you can see here, charges forward, hits, slows the target there, as well as I can now aim it and update it to send it flying to new targets after I fire it, which will just make this ability feel a lot more intuitive with how most other mages feel when you pick up a character in Smite.
Love it.
You can see it still places a harvest plant at the feet where it hits, or at max range. So you can see here, I throw it out there. You got that skull there, so you can still use this to place skulls.
Okay.
So that's the main update here, just making this a bit more intuitive feeling ability in Smite.
Love it.
This was a more minor rework, but the next ability is going to be like a completely new ability. So this is Harvest. You can see this new targeter shape. It's a area with 3 skulls kind of inside of it. You fire it, a brief windup happens and explodes, creating 3 seeds around it. You can see here I can use this to damage ability or damage enemies. So you can use it to actually poke enemy gods. And you can also use it to poke and set up your seeds at the same time. Skulls, you can also tell, are upgrading immediately to the flower stage. They're no longer going to the bud stage. We're focusing more on you utilizing the charging flowers, and we're giving you much more control over them.
Fantastic.
So before you'd fire this, and it would just charge at the nearest enemy god and try and follow them. Here you can actually aim it. So you can see when I attack it here, I can aim it, I attack here, it'll try and bite as it gets close. And it's controlled entirely by my basic attack range. So you can see here, like if I'm really close, I can aim a little bit to the right, and it'll go out to the right. I can aim a little bit to the left, it'll go to the left. I can send it wherever I want, and if I have multiple of these out, we'll let them upgrade a little bit, pre-plan a little bit and have a backup so I can use. You can send them to like, hey, they're trying to walk this way. Oh, they're trying to get cut off. I can cut them off this way. Send them out flying that way. You have a lot more play with where you're going to actually send these out. Another important thing is you can send them through the walls. So you can actually catch people who are trying to run through areas. You can catch people who are trying to hide over walls. There's no escaping her plants. They're nature. They just
Love it.
Their nature.
Persephone looks fun now, man. This looks way more fun to me.
So that's the main thing here is
way
it's now
more
cooldown-based ability, which means as much as you can't do 6 plants immediately from storing them up, over the course of a game with some CDR, you'll actually be casting this significantly more often. You will have more plants to play with. Especially when you're trying to Phoenix Siege, you're going to be chucking these at the enemy all the time. You're going to be throwing these out there, trying to poke your opponents with them, trying to lead them off, head them off. And the most important thing is enemies have a clear understanding of what they need to do to avoid this. They need to get out of the way. They need to try and outrun it. It's no longer this kind of like you have to just have someone tell you, oh yeah, do a little shuffle step like this and you'll avoid it every time.
Right.
So no more shuffle step, but more plants.
Onto the third ability. This is going to be very familiar to players. It's just going to... The only real major difference is that now this does damage on takeoff, so you can see that I hurt my target there. As well as I don't have the pre-seed that I get before because there's no tier 2 plant, as well as there's no really harvest ability to cast upgrade. This damage is really there for the Persephone players who were doing the things like casting this and basic attacking after they leapt for some damage, just to make sure that that's still there if they're escaping from a target jumping on them.
Love it.
You know what that makes me think of? Neath back.
Actually, that was when we were developing her initially. That was like one thing we wanted to be sure that you could do was like backflip. We were talking about like how backflip interacts, making sure that she could go over walls because this was considered a leap and making sure that that was very clear to players. So yeah, it does have a little bit of that feel.
Nice.
And obviously the other combo you can do now is you can drop these down, have 3 plants immediately and send them out flying. One problem Persephone had that we wanted to address with this was if you didn't have a garden
That's a
set up,
fun
you
combo.
were kind of at the mercy of
That's a fun
how
combo.
the fight was going, that you couldn't really contribute much to outside of a
say,
single exploding
that
plant.
looks pretty
You're
fun
now
to
in a
me.
situation where you got caught off guard completely. Maybe you had to rotate because your team moved in a direction that doesn't make any sense. They just decided to chase a kill. You can now pop this down and then leap and send a charging army at your team pretty much on demand, which is definitely a lot more flexibility than you've had before. And then finally, we'll see if Bot's Orbit behaves. It doesn't like you always. The ultimate, previously what would happen is you wouldn't be able to move further out. Now that, see, Bot's Orbit doesn't behave. That Odin did not respect anything. Before if you moved ever closer, you get more constricted. The ultimate was a huge pain point at the top level because it is a projectile that travels globally, has a big effect area, and it didn't feel like you could ever really counterplay it. Yeah, see, Bot's Orbit ain't gonna behave. It just felt very restricted to play against, but we like the core identity and feel of this ability, the idea that the enemy team can come and try and save their trapped teammate. And so one thing that alleviated a lot of the frustration around fighting it was that max range movement. You can actually move up to the max range now, which means Persephone and your team have to work a little bit harder to damage you. It's not going to be so free if they catch you close to the center of it. It's not going to be as immediate of a beads burner. Teams have more opportunities to play around it before they decide they need to burn beads. Just more opportunity, which is the theme of things. So the core thing is playing against Persephone should be a lot more intuitive. It should feel a lot better. It's a lot more manageable. But Persephone herself has more confirmable damage with firing these abilities. She can use the slow to line up targets. She can control the direction they run. She can use this to cut off targets. Her ability to influence what her plans actually do and how successful they are is now in her hands versus the hands of some AI. And then finally, we have the passive rework, which was one of those effects that
like a lot of fun.
Even if she only did CC, let's say you took all damage off her and she could only do CC, there's something inherent about Smite where when you kill a target, you should feel rewarded and successful for having done the thing. You pick out the Persephone. If you lose a fight because she could still contribute and she still was able to turn the tables, it doesn't matter how balanced it might be. Hi, Kernanos. Kernanos is just chilling over there.
What's going on, Kernanos?
It scared me.
I think Kern is trying to climb the wall.
No matter how fair it might feel or it might be, it's not going to feel fair. And so we thought about what we want to do the passive. We thought the idea of her going to this death realm and reviving and doing something after she dies was still very core to her thematics and something players would appreciate. So in this case, let me turn off God mode.
Don't turn off.
You now enter the death realm. You can see I now can't see anyone. I can't interact with anyone. I don't know where anyone is, but now I'm in this kind of planning stage. So let's say I die in mid lane and I think, hey, they're gonna have a fight around Fire Giant. Let's place a few seeds here. Then let's maybe walk over here, put one back here, one back here. And then finally, just in case, I'm going to put one in mid just to make sure I'm good to go. You can place up to 6 seeds in the state. You have all the time that you would normally be respawning.
Interesting.
Your respawn timer has started, so you can see I have 28 seconds to respawn. So being in the state is no negative to you. It's entirely just something that you get to do for free. It doesn't cost seeds to enter. And then once you decide to respawn, so I'm going to right-click here to exit the state. I have 17 seconds.
Cool.
I'm just going to revive immediately because I'm a hacker.
And you still get the gold for the seeds as well.
And you still get the gold for the seeds as well, so you can still you're still rewarded for actually utilizing the garden, creating a whole bunch of plants using them. You can see now that I have exactly where I placed them.
I like it.
If a fight breaks out in mid, I at least have something.
That's way less frustrating to play.
I have plants around Fire Giant, so I need to rush there and start contesting that immediately.
Way less frustrating.
Before I might have to use this ability to set up something, and then the enemy team starts fighting, and I've lost one of my core damaging abilities. If you can plan ahead, you get rewarded by having a garden there for you to utilize immediately. So definitely something that you're gonna have to have a lot of map awareness to make effective, but definitely just something that she brings that's unique to her, that is kind of reminiscent of the idea that she when she dies she revives and gets to do something, which we thought was core to her identity.
I like it.
I feel like that really
that
goes
should be
with
the
that
rework.
Cute cultivator skin or whatever. She's like such a gardener.
Yep.
Yep, and that was actually something we had to go through and make sure. There's a few new effects, so for anyone who is interested in looking at the skin, like for example, this targeter, as well as that explosion effect and everything, that's a completely new effect. We have a few other new effects and sound effects here and there, so you'll be able to explore all the skins and see those as well and what they look like. I think in particular, the Oblivion Queen one looks really cool.
Oh, yes.
The explosion there is really neat. It has like this like white skull that pops up in the center. Just really cool stuff there. So super happy with everything.
Awesome.
I'm hoping everyone enjoys Persephone to play against it. I encourage everyone to go on the PTS, try it out. I think you'll find that your playstyle loop is very similar, but you have a lot of tools at your disposal with the 1 slow and leading targets with your 2. I think one time I was fighting Clumsy, and I forced him with 5 plants to run into my jungler because he was trying to avoid them. I just kept zoning him all the way over to the right lane. The jungler came over the wall, and we just confirmed a kill. And that's kind of neat stuff that I think you now have control to do versus before having to rely on this random RNG AI.
Yeah, playing with and against Persephone, I'd say for those that think that her skill ceiling has dropped to just a normal mage, that's definitely not the truth. She is still a very unique and hard to play character. And when I say hard to play, hard to master character. She hasn't lost any of that.
Cool. I hope everyone gets to try it out on PTS and enjoys it.
I have a question. So in her ult, when you're like tethered, am I wrong? As you walk away from the center, you're slowed, but as you walk towards, it's fine.
Yes, and so that was to kind of softly reinforce the old idea, which was getting away from it's a little bit harder, but it's not so detrimental as the hard route used to be. So there is a slow when you're walking away, just to make sure that like you have a little bit of CC feel still on you to let you know you are grasp.
All right, cool. Thank you for clarifying. I just wanted to make sure I had it right. But that will cover everything from the Persephone rework. If anybody missed it, we have a blog online all about it. It's also in the update notes. So all the information you need is on our website, smitegame.com/news. But let's go ahead and get into another big, exciting thing happening on the Battleground is going to be the Athena remodel. So this is different from a rework. Her kit is going to be staying the same.
Getting remodeled.
This is all visual. So let's take a look at the card art. Oh my gosh.
So pretty.
I maybe don't know what Athena looks like because I feel like that looks like Athena.
Back to, where she's from a little bit better with her hair, and she's got an updated voice pack as well. So I
play a lot of Athena to not know what she looks like.
And so we've updated her base, her masteries, and her recolor as well.
Oh, that's so cool. The legendary coloration's so great.
Yes. I love the recolor. That red, it pops. I love it. If you are curious, though, if you are all about the classics, we will have the classic skin available for purchase, and it will use the old voice pack, and you can get that for either favor or gems. Oh yes, I want to cosplay this so bad.
Why is her face
this
so pale?
Beautiful.
I'm so glad we've revisited some of these older characters. The Sobek.
Wisdom and strategy are better defenses than shields and armor.
Oh my goodness. Yes, and I love her updated voice pack. Yes.
Yeah, the art team revisiting these older characters and updating them has been really cool to see what they do with them.
Just brings a new life to these characters. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, and like we said, the kit will be staying the same. So if you are an Athena main, your playstyle will stay the same. You'll just look a little bit more stylish.
I got nothing.
But now your Confound is nerfed, so
Oh right.
You're still pretty strong. You're still pretty happy with the nerf.
Well, we've got tons of other.
I'm probably going to use the old model, to be perfectly honest.
With the 8.5 MonsterCat update on May 18th. So let's take a look at the Talons of Tyranny stuff. We'll start by going over the Talons of Tyranny video. So we'll be right back, y'all. And we dance.
And goddesses, welcome to Talons of Tyranny, an all-new event in Smite, featuring new gods to discover, quests to earn gems, and brand new skins, including Smite's newest Tier 5 skin, Forgotten Gods Chalk. Talons of Tyranny follows Tiamat's influence on Olympus and beyond. Will the goddess of the Salt Sea bring salvation to the battleground, or will her presence sow discord among the gods? Talons of Tyranny introduces all new gods, including Tiamat, Gilgamesh, and a god yet to be discovered. Joining these deities are all new skins, including Bitslayer Tsukiyomi, Battle Tagger Scotty, and the community-requested Unholy Doodle raw skin. Complete Talons of Tyranny's chapters and earn rewards like Deathy Chibi Thanatos. Only those brave enough to conquer every Talons of Tyranny chapter will be rewarded with Smite's newest Tier 5 skin, Forgotten Gods Chalk. Talons of Tyranny is 2021's biggest Smite event yet, with new gods, skins, quests, and more. Are you up to the challenge? Talons of Tyranny, available now in Smite. Go ahead, play God.
Welcome back, and Clumsy has
All right.
headed off. But Tina is here. Hi, Tina.
All right.
Hello, Tina.
Hey guys! I've been
Sure.
watching you for the past hour, so you know.
I've been watching you for like a week.
Sure.
I'm at your house. I'm just kidding.
Ooh, yikes.
I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
How you doing, Tina? Welcome.
Good. I've been doing good. I've been talking to our guest.
Yes, Slushy will be joining us for the Battle Pass section towards the end. So let's get through the Talents of Tyranny content so we can get to the Battle Pass content towards the end of the show. So first, we will have a new skin for the Talents of Tyranny event. For Opwash, it is Malware Master. Let's take a look at the card art.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty cool card art.
He needs to take it down like 3 notches.
It's pretty
I
cool
feel like
card
I
art.
can hear this image.
Yeah, I can definitely hear this image.
like Mars attacks, you know, like.
Yes, it's some sort of screeching.
Yes, same.
Oh my god, but it's so scary. Like the way that the way he's standing and like
has good
with the
skin.
skin, just very scary.
He's just got good skins,
His
man.
eyes, they freak me out because they're red. Well, I
There's
thought
a lot of
they're red in the. Yeah.
But our audio team has told us that they put some really cool techie elements into the sounds for his abilities. So when PTS goes out, make sure to check him out and see what you think. But we've also got other skins like Depths Defender Odin.
Ooh, yes. The Hammerhead one? Hell yeah.
Yes. Look
Shark
at
Boy.
him. He's so
Oh.
but scary also.
Yeah, so scary.
Boy.
I'm so scared right now.
You
I
ripped
love
that
the
pirate.
smile. Yeah, right.
Oh, look at that smile.
Oh my goodness, I love it. And he's still
Got
got his
the
legs, so
tail.
he can still run around. But
I love
he's
the
got his
tail.
I love it. I love his head. I love his face. I love his eyes. I love his smile. But let's give the voice pack a listen.
I'm neutral on it, actually.
I will say the wrath of the sea.
He's an angry shark.
I love
He
it.
must be a
He's so
South
sharky.
Pole shark.
Yeah.
And then next up, we have Moon Seer Oleron. I saw a lot of people wondering when we were going to get an Oleron skin, so here you go. And look at him.
Oh,
my
looks so cool.
Amazing. I love like the different runes that are all around him and the paint.
He looks
the
very
face paint.
druidic. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really know what it's supposed to be, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I love the skin's
I
a
love it.
contrast. Like he has all like these super bright effects, and this is much more. It feels much more calm.
Oh
It's
yeah.
very calm.
Let's check it out in game.
I was hoping to see it again.
Yeah. Whoa.
Ooh. You can see his toes.
Oh, and his heels. Heels. Right? Are those exposed?
Yeah. I think you're right. They're like kind of like
He's
cut
like
off
wearing
socks.
like toe socksies. Yes.
Yes.
All the little
Talking a
supplemental
lot about
extras are
Oleron's
really
feet
neat.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
The shoulder
Are
pad.
we allowed
like,
to talk
beam
about his feet?
Thing. That's just cool.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
Flare?
Oh, that is really, really neat. If someone cosplays that, I want to know how they make the little shoulder
Am I
parts.
getting banned for them
And
talking
Floyd
about feet?
Ross.
Oh yeah.
I was called here by the spirits and secrets in the very stars. It is fortunate for you that I am here and on your side.
Oh my goodness, I trust him. I love it. He sounds like a super nice guy.
I know, right? I just want to have a
Awesome
hot dog
stuff.
with him.
And then last up for Talents of Tyranny, we have the unlimited reward. Sea Nymph Soul. Here we go. I tried to tell y'all it was a Kepri skin. Nobody believed me.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
I honestly don't know who this skin is for.
Yes, makes me want to
I
die.
didn't hear it.
All mermaids. I know, right?
I don't-
Mermaids are
I did-
so like
gotta wait.
serene.
It's for Soul? Okay.
Watery.
I mean, I entirely missed that part.
Yeah.
Those are keywords.
They are. But I love it. I know that Soul, people have wanted a mermaid skin for Soul for forever. So here you go. We finally got it. Oh my gosh, look at her.
That
And I
is
feel like Soul fits perfectly for a mermaid, just the way that she runs around or swims through the air.
Interesting
Yeah.
mermaid.
Her animations work perfectly well.
Oh, she's also got little bubbles. That's so cute.
She does.
Her posture needs
Let's
some
give
work.
the voice pack a listen.
She's got some serious like scoliosis going on or something. She needs
Finally,
some
the
help.
storms are gone and the sea is calm and pristine.
I love it. She sounds so sweet and happy. Like, if you were to meet her while you're at the beach, maybe you'd be friends and pen pals when you left. I love it. Well, that is going to, again, be the unlimited reward for this chapter of the Talents of Tyranny event. And then I'm sure a lot of y'all saw our announcement yesterday about
Monstercat?
Avatar.
For
So Azula Pele is
yep.
going to be hitting the battleground with this update, which is super exciting to be increasing the roster that we have for Avatar in Smite. But along with that, if you missed the Battle Pass last time, or you didn't finish it, or there was anything that happened where you didn't get everything you needed from the Avatar Battle Pass, all of those skins will be coming back to the Battle Pass or to the store as well. So you'll be able to pick those up. But let's take a look at Azula Pele.
Oh, Willie.
Azula,
Oh, Willie, there we go.
yay!
Get it.
There
Oh,
she
so good.
is. I am
Her
so
stuff
excited
is super
for.
neat.
Yeah.
Yes.
She will roast me.
Nice.
Look at
They've
her.
gotten the style done pretty well.
So
The team that-
our audio team. Sorry, go ahead.
The team that worked on all these Avatar skins, they have a whole bunch of passion for this stuff, and they put in like there's like some super small details from like how they animate and what effects are there, and all like making sure like that pose is like very iconic of the series, like making sure all that's in. You can just see like the amount they pour into this. It's really cool.
Very nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
and they're
awesome.
super fans
Pele
too.
is literally perfect for
Like
her.
we have like
Perfect.
a team that's like the Avatar
So-
Strike team, and they're like all super fans of Avatar, so they're super passionate. They make sure that everything is like top tier for this skin.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
sure that working on it for them was like really incredible. All of the Avatar stuff. And then I also wanted to throw out that we have the voice actress Megan Shipman, who will be voicing Azula Pele. And then the last little note from our audio team was that Pele's sound design works very well for Azula, so we're excited for y'all to hear it all in game when you try it out in PTS. Let's give the voice pack a listen.
My brother has disgraced the Fire Lord and brought shame on all of us. I will not hesitate to bring him down.
Oh, yes.
Nice job.
This is so good. Let's head in game to
Very
get a better
nice.
look.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nailed it on the voice.
Oh my gosh, yes! Oh my
So
gosh,
good.
these effects. Really,
Damn,
oh my
son.
goodness. It is so exciting to see these things like really brought to life in Smite. When I first started playing Smite like 6 years ago or something, I never imagined that we would be where we are today.
Wow.
Oh, look at her. Look at her go.
They nailed the skin. They
Dude, the
literally
music, you hear it?
nailed
the
the
music
skin.
is very nice.
Yes.
All over.
And finally, we got the ultimate here.
Oh my gosh, that is
Super
so
crap,
dope.
crazy lightning.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Oh, I love the sparking effect to show that you're in the ult state.
Yes.
Very good.
Woo!
Oh, this is so pretty.
It's so hot, dude.
I love how the effects glow and have so much contrast with
Yep.
everybody around them. Beautiful. So
I
yes.
don't know if you were told, but there's also is a VXG for this too.
Ooh, show us, show us.
He literally marks the ground with using her lighting and fire to like
Oh,
burn the fire
nice.
or the
Oh
Fire
my
Nation symbol into the ground.
Whoa!
That
Nice.
is so sick. Do it again.
Really cool stuff there. Just
That,
nice little
that
touch.
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh man.
So that will be available on May 18th. And remember, the rest of the Avatar gang will be coming back as direct purchase skins as well.
Dang.
Oh, yay!
Exciting.
So that's going to cover
Very cool stuff.
most of the content that's coming out with the MonsterCat update.
Except for, like,
we haven't talked about
the
MonsterCat yet.
MonsterCat
So that
stuff,
will be
yeah.
the last part of our show. We are going to cut to a MonsterCat Battlepass video. And in the meantime, we will say goodbye to Pompon, and Slushy will be
Bye-bye.
joining us as well, one of the artists from the MonsterCat Battlepass. So we will be right back, y'all.
Bye.
Only Crab Rave Capri matters. The Gilgamesh skin is pretty cool. All that matters is Crab Rave Capri though. All that matters, you know? Yep. Capri every day, baby.
Hello
So
and
good.
welcome back. We are joined by Slushy.
It's literally
Hi, Slushy.
so
Oh,
good.
pointing the wrong way. How you doing?
Like,
How's it going?
Hi, Slushy.
So excited to have
you
you on
can't
the
even
show.
be mad. It's so good.
So
great to be here.
you have your own skin coming to Smite as part of the MonsterCat Battlepass. And we'll go into all of the skins and everything that'll be covered in the Battle Pass. But I first wanted to know what it was like to have some of your music and to be a part of the process on getting things into a video game, because I know that you play a lot of games.
It's been just like a mind-blowing process. Before I was actually playing for the first time, like probably like 10-15 minutes ago. Got a few matches in.
Nice.
And I'm just, it's so cool to like be able to craft something for, kind of bring two worlds together and just make something really like weird and fun happen that like you wouldn't, I guess, normally see. But it's cool.
For sure. And I know that you got your new
Hades?
song Valhalla. Of course. Why wouldn't you? But you've got your new song Valhalla coming out. We're going to be doing a world premiere at the end of the update show. But I was just curious what went into the making of Valhalla.
I made it at the so while we were doing the partnership with Epic, I was just like in the hotel room and I just wrote Valhalla in one night, and it was just one of those like it was like we were on the tail end of another video game collaboration, so it was just like I was in the mood to just make something super, just super like orchestral and epic, and just the rest is history. Here we are.
Yeah, for sure. It's been exciting to see how your songs were implemented into the abilities of the characters. And like I said, we'll get into that when we jump in game. But I was also wondering if you have found inspiration for your music through the video games that you play. Do you pull from?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I'm a huge like I've been really big into Doom lately, and like a lot of like the really kind of grungy aspects of like playing a game, like a lot of the really like crazy sound design will just like I'll hear somebody get chainsawed or like punch in a wall or something, and I'll go, oh, that'd be really sick like bass or like really cool snare drum or something. So I mean, constantly in and out of game, there's just
that's what I think too. When somebody gets
producer brain
chainsawed,
is just like wired to hear just a bunch of random stuff and get like inspired from like whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure chainsaw sounds as you murder people is super inspirational.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm saying.
And then I was wondering, so you were just playing around. I'm assuming while you were playing Hades, you were playing your Slushy Hades skin. Did you get to mess around with that at all?
I was actually.
I don't know if you.
As Chibi
it's not out yet.
Hades.
Oh, I thought
playing
that
as
you were in
Chibi
dev for.
Hades. It was
Oh, the
so
chibi
fun.
one is cute. Yes.
I was like learning the abilities and stuff like that. We won both rounds, so I'm
So
pretty hyped on that.
You're going pro. Nice.
Yep, gonna quit DJing to go Smite Pro. You heard it here first.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, best of luck in that. Let's take a look at your skin, Slushy Hades from the Monstercat Battlepass. The card art is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I'm just vibing.
Right. Just getting down on the battleground. We've got some in-game turnaround videos also. So this is what it would look like instead of Chibi Hades if you're playing Slushy
Pretty cool
Hades.
skin.
It's how you'd be running around. And we've also got
I like
some
his face.
You like his
Dude,
face?
the jacket is nuts.
Yeah.
Let's get this party started.
Let's get this party started.
And I believe we're going to be able to go in-game to check it out as well, to hear the abilities. And yes.
That is insane.
There you
Get
are.
this party started.
It's your boy.
Yeah.
And then as he does his abilities, you'll be able to hear parts of your song Valhalla.
Which that's really like the craziest part to me is like, you know, hearing little bits and elements like, you know, that I can pick out from
It's got pretty cool effects.
Actually making the song, like it's really cool.
It's got
the way that the sounds were
pretty
implemented and
cool
stuff.
effects.
I love how the ultimate has
Gotta wear, gotta wear
the
my
drop.
Woojer vest, dude.
It's so sick.
When I play all these characters. We gotta go put the vest back on so we can literally feel the sounds, you know?
It almost makes me want to like run towards the ultimate, which
Right.
counterintuitive, but and there's the VXG as you run around the battleground.
Yeah, he's vibing.
Yes. And so all of the skins that are featured on the artist, we're going to have music packs or music themes for all of them as well. So you'll be able to get the Valhalla music theme in Smite as well.
Oh, yeah.
I love how it vibrates.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I feel like I've missed concerts for the past like year and a half or however long it's been, and this is giving me like, I'm like itching to get back to a show. Well, sweet. Let's talk about Sullivan King Gilgamesh.
You're gonna make me wait all the way from my catfish skin.
The harpies keep...
Yeah.
And here is Sullivan King
That's some cool
Gilgamesh
card art.
shredding.
That's
What
some
is that
cool
instrument
card art,
called?
dude.
It's a sword.
So
it's a
that's
sword
where all
instrument.
the video cards are going.
Swordstrument.
Is that why I can't get a
Yay, we have
3080
technical terms.
Gilgamesh?
But this is super sick.
how it
I
is.
love whatever instrument
it
that
is.
is. I want to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hop in
looks
game
very
to check out.
He's using them as swords, yo.
Yeah, it does.
Someone said, daddy.
Gilgamesh confirmed the mining Bitcoin.
Gilgadaddy. He looks so cool.
Damn, that is a cool sword, y'all.
I love the pants.
a
I love
light,
the
thick
outfit,
sword.
the belt.
That is a
You have
cool
big
freaking sword.
that also plays music. Ooh, that sword actually, like on the edge, almost has like iridescent kind of look to it.
And it's like pumping too.
He's jacked.
It's what?
Like the lights are just like pumping.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Paulson? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he's not tiny.
This is actually going to be the
He's a
buy-in
pretty-
reward for
he's
the
a
Battle
pretty
Pass.
large
So this will be
lad
the
to
instant
have
unlock
abs.
when you buy the Battle Pass. And Sullivan
He's
King's
pretty-
song
he's pretty
Someone
beefy. He has
Else
some big
will
arms.
be played during this. So let's listen to
His
the voice
arms are
line.
as big as his legs, dude. He has some big
The god of
that's just a bit
spin
close.
is in the house.
Nice.
Yes.
Looks dope. Let's head in game to check it
You
out.
think he painted on the abs? He might have.
So his
how
sword
pretty.
material is the same as his shirt material. Do you see it?
Yeah, I was seeing that, and his pants on the side of his pants.
Yeah, his pants.
Ooh, that is so pretty. I feel like that instrument is
Sword
too
is cool.
expensive to be slapping people with it.
That's what I'm saying.
I love the ground texture.
Oh yeah.
God, I love that ability
Oh, that's so cool.
much.
Drop kick the face. Oh, nice.
What is that?
That's good.
Is that his logo?
I
What is
believe-
that?
I believe that is Sullivan King's logo. Yes. Oh, how pretty! Oh, how pretty. So yes, his song, someone else will be playing as you take over the battleground.
Yeah, that is epic.
That is so fun.
Hi, Gildy.
Does he also have a VXG?
I believe they all do.
Mark? Ooh.
I just love watching him.
Damn.
Is he shuffling? Is he shuffling?
Holy. Dude.
Look at him
If you didn't want the skin, you have to get it now.
Oh, yeah.
That VXG
This
is carrying.
sick. Look at him. This is sick.
Carrying. It's actually sick.
Wow.
Oh, holy shit.
Whoa. Oh, he's moving.
flying.
He can move. That's pretty funny,
Terminal
actually.
velocity shuffling.
That is excellent.
That is dope. Sullivan King actually also worked with us on an announcer pack that's part of the Battle Pass as well. So we'll have a new announcer pack from Sullivan King.
Yo, this is a good
which
Battle
is pretty
Pass.
exciting.
This is the best Battle Pass since
I
the
love it.
Avatar Battle Pass, for sure.
And now we have Coven Changa.
For sure.
So beautiful.
Without
so
a doubt.
beautiful. Makes me want to dye my hair pink. And the
I
song
love the
from
song for
Coven.
this one.
Yes, Give You Up. I had not listened to it a lot before I heard it through Smite, and now I'm like nonstop. It's pretty. Let's take a look at it in game. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is goals. I'm like, I want to be this when I grow up. And the little bunny.
Dude, the bunny is just vibing.
Yeah, he's got what looks like a speaker on his back too. You know, there's people that like walk around the park with like
The
speakers
bunny
going?
is
That's
just
the
vibing. They got me. The bunny just
And
vibing.
her sword? Let's listen to the voice
I
pack.
don't know why that caught me so off guard. It did though.
I can't believe it! I wanted to be the headliner here for the longest time, and now I'm finally here!
Aw, she's finally here! Aw, that was so cute. I love it.
I
like
also
hug and
thought it was a Freya skin.
Look, aw.
It's a Chang'e skin. I
Sleepy little
also
bunny.
thought it was Freya. For sure.
Oh, I love the moving
Dang,
pattern
that's a
for this
cool
one.
auto attack. That's a cool auto.
And her song with the
That's a
basics
cool
and all of her
one.
voice, so pretty. I love that nod. It's like you don't get the whole song, but you can hear like
That's a cool
the little
too.
bits just as you're walking around.
That's not happening.
That's a cool 3.
Whoa.
Oh, it's so cool.
That's a cool
I
ult.
love the colors.
Yeah, the effects are awesome.
Yes, I really love the iridescent kind of look with like the rainbows,
bunny?
but they're very bright.
The bunny
Those are
looks
cool
like
effects
he's
in all of it.
farting. But look at the poofs. It looks like he keeps farting. It's so
They do be
cute.
farting.
Aw. Just got little rainbow puffs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so pretty. And I believe she also has a VXG. I don't know if we've seen it yet. Have we?
So clean.
Oh my god, yes.
The VXGs are excellent.
She's dancing around too, getting down.
Love it.
She's got like the spotlight on her. She's
Literally
headlining.
excellent.
That's what she said. She
Yeah.
said she's headlining. She finally made it.
The bunny got stuck on the
I
door.
love
Don't
it.
pay attention. Pay no attention to the bunny
Wait,
stuck on the
where's
door.
our bunny? Is our bunny coming back yet? Our bunny looks like they got stuck.
Check it.
She's coming.
Couldn't keep up with the shuffling.
Mm-hmm.
So cute.
Bunny's back.
I want this like to be my life, to be the theme of my life, to sound like my life. It's so pretty.
Save the bunny.
All right, here's what we really
Crab
want.
rave
Yo.
pepper.
Give the people what they want. The people want crabs.
moment.
What?
Yes,
Crab
this is
rave pepper.
Absolutely amazing.
That didn't come out right.
So this is actually
don't-
going to be the final reward of the battle pass.
know what?
So
We're
get
keeping it.
to playing right when
We're
the battle
keeping it
pass
in.
launches.
We're not
Make sure
cutting
that
it.
you don't miss it. You know, something doesn't happen where you have to be traveling away from your computer. No, play, get this crab rave peppery, and never change skins again. Oh my gosh, look at it.
Let me see your crabs, chat. Let me see your crabs.
Crabs in chat.
Wish I had a crab emote. Sad.
I love it. So this is actually.
I want to see your emotes.
Tina.
Drop some crabs in the chat.
This is going to be replacing the, we usually have a recolor. So if you know the Chef Special Capri skin, this is going to be kind of like a recolor of that since they're both crustaceans. But we did a lot to make sure that it was super crabby. Let's give the voice crack a listen.
Time to hit the dance floor.
Oh God. It's a little.
I love the texture on him too.
I don't know what I wanted a crab to sound like, but I don't know if that's what I thought a crab would sound like. That's all.
Oh yay! Look at him go.
Oh my goodness. He makes me hungry because he's a cooked crab. You know how like non-cooked crabs are not red?
Food?
He looks like a cooked crab and it's yummy. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
His ultimate
I was just trying to listen. Oh my God, look. This is so troll and I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. Chef Special Capri was my favorite skin forever and now it's over.
The crabby boy.
Oh my goodness.
This is so hilarious. Oh my God.
Yo.
Pawn. Oh wow, we're creating like dust storms everywhere we go. This is actually pretty sick. We need a match of the day that does this. It's all crab.
He's flying! Oh my goodness, Krabby's flying!
I wonder if there would be like hurt damage if he fell from too high. But
down.
Wild chat.
Oh,
so if
I may not have a crab yet,
is your
but
thing.
believe
we
me,
have a lot of
we're
crab
gonna
rave
get
cosmetics in the
crabs.
battle pass. We've got like a crab rave avatar, a jump stamp. Again, all of these will have the music themes that go along with the artist.
For
and
content.
Then, there will also be the skin. So grab it up. So many crabs, so little time.
For the content.
But yeah, so the MonsterCat Battle Pass will go live May 18th. It will have 4 music themes, tons of content. It has a free track, a paid track. Check it out on the notes to see what you can get. But before we close out the show, I believe we still have a world premiere for Slushy's new song. Is that right?
There's a world premiere going on.
There's a world premiere about to happen.
Okay. I don't think I can watch the world premiere.
Thank you so much for joining us on the update
I think it'll
show.
actually
Is
mute
there
the
anything that
VOD.
you want to plug before we say goodbye?
Valhalla. It's coming out. Got an album on the way. Second half of the year. So that's the thing, and can't wait to play Smite and play shows again.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show. It has been such a pleasure. For everybody tuning in, thank you also for joining. The update notes are live if you want to check them out.
All right, this is me not risking the DMCA on the on the patch notes. But thank you guys for coming out to the stream today. Hope you guys enjoyed your time here. On the whole, I really enjoyed the patch. Honestly, pretty much everything in the patch was good. The bonus balance was fantastic. Most of the patch stuff was awesome. There was only a couple of changes that I was like, I don't know about that. But for the most part, it was like items slammed all the right items. Wind Demon, check. And Sheila and Shifter, shield. Buffing some of the crappy starter items, check. Nerfing some of the OP ones like Boombas, check. Buffing bad gods, nerfing good god items. It was a really good patch. Not just like, aesthetically with the skins, but like a lot of good actual gameplay changes.